Gonna let this run for a minute while I'm setting a couple of things here. So welcome. Wow, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been over a year since I last streamed a game. So just making sure I set the stream information. Let's see. Check a couple of things here. That looks good. Okay, it's coming up on the screen. It looks like the stuff is set. Hopefully my voice is coming through. Cool. So, reason why I'm here tonight. Like I said, it has been a really long time since I last streamed a game. But the Stanley Parable is one of my all-time favorites. I love everything about this game. The way the meta narrative plays out, voice acting is impeccable. Um, Everything is just great. And I would say now, if you haven't played this game before, I do suggest you go back and play it. Uh, I'm probably not going to go through and do all of the stuff from the original game, uh, and you know, it was long before I started streaming when I last played this. Um, that said, I will try and go. I'll probably try and do one or two of what I expect are my favorite routes. Um, but yeah, I've heard there's a lot of cool new stuff in the game. Uh, so I definitely wanted to go try it out, and I figured, why not? Uh, Jump on, fire up OBS, and record my reactions to it. So, that said, let's get started. Oh, I should point out, the game does have you set a few things at the beginning, and there's actually a couple of cute messages which I didn't get to record, but uh, definitely recommend playing this game for yourself. And I'm I would imagine that this is going to be really good, so it would be worth checking out for yourself as well. But yeah, let's do this.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-ripping, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Yeah, it is a little choppy. Hold on a second. Around a bit. Yeah, it's a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe I might hold on. 16:9. That's true. We'll start with that and see how that goes. How's that look?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, this should be fine. Cool. All right.
No matter
so
how
much.
hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Remember, there's a bunch of things. We'll do this.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth?
I do remember that one.
No, I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50
Yeah.
clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
You know, normally I would say, "Oh yeah, it's just like a desk that's set up because I've worked in an office, and I know that desks are frequently like they're just there for like placeholders for people who haven't worked there yet." But yeah, except that like it's literally directly in front of the chair, and the desk is shining directly onto it. Like, yes, this is the focus of the job of whoever sits at desk 432. He's the pencil sharpener. Anyways, back to clicking on this door 50 more times.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
All right. I don't remember where the doors are. Look around for... So there's something you can do with these computers, but I don't exactly remember what. 417. Here we go.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Oh, there we go.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
So yeah, if you haven't played this game before, yeah, this game is weird.
Now, back to door number 437. Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Oh, right. I can't jump.
This is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
Oh my gosh.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430. Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
That's one of the reasons I love this game. It's so weird and funny and just crazy. And yeah, that was just for a weird Easter egg for an achievement that doesn't mean anything. So let's get back to finding out what happened to the office.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Which one are we going to do? Let's go to this one.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Now, I don't remember if any of these things are different. Because, you know, obviously I'm not going to remember all the crazy details that are in this game. But, yeah, that is another thing. Just the amount of weird little things that you will find if you poke around in this game for long enough is just staggering. Just, like stuff inside people's cubicles and whatever.
Truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
One day's be my Valentine. Why?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
And the mugs. But anyways, yeah.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I think I want to do this one.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Caution, do not lie. You're lying right now. Stop. Warning, do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
That one's tempting, but...
Stanley.
Yeah, no.
Someone you've forgotten about.
Nah, forget it.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Pretty
Are
much.
you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yep.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
It's weird that the doors close
Now listen
behind you.
carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yeah, that one.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Yeah, all right. Give this new door a try. I'm pretty sure all of them lead to the same thing.
Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
It was pretty good. I'll give it a 4.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh yeah, Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Oh man, this thing. Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. 98.9% of players are more attractive than Stanley. Here's you in last place. I'm fairly certain that even if you don't take the new door, yeah, you still end. It still goes the same thing. But yeah, you're also behind a dead rat who is offline. Only slightly behind by a few hours. How long does it take you to get to the correct door? I think at this point it doesn't matter. Yeah, because I think that all of these end up going to the same place. Yeah.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
That was amazing. I loved it. 5 out of 5.
I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
Of course.
Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Yeah, so I'm not going to keep doing this for that long, but if I recall correctly, there is actually a thing you can get if you play this for 4 hours. Yeah, no thanks. Yeah.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
A little column A, a little column B.
I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? just to ease the pain.
Oh yeah,
Let's
the
see.
second button.
What do we
I
have
never
here?
did that. So
Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
now this part is gonna be fun. Well, it's interesting anyway. What?
Ah, fascinating. What do you
Oh,
think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory?
oh,
What is our
really now?
motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of
Creep
twisted,
tower.
erotic purpose.
Oh God.
Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Okay, so yeah, for people who've played the original, this was originally going to be Minecraft, and now it's Firewatch. So that's amazing. I actually played through Firewatch earlier this year. It's it's not bad. I liked a lot of it. The ending was a little, it just kind of anticlimactic, maybe. I don't know really how to describe it, but overall, it was an interesting game. I liked some of the mechanics behind it. It's it only take a few hours to go through. It's got some interesting dialogue and story choices. Like I said, ending is a little weird, but for the most part, it was a good experience. I enjoyed it. I would recommend it. But yeah, this is wacky. I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe it was like, maybe they were like, oh no, we're not gonna let you use Minecraft anymore. It's too popular now. So they had to get something else, or maybe they just felt like doing a different game. What does this say? Something about fire. Oh, who fire watches the fire watchers? Oh boy. This is pretty good recreation of the place where the tower though. Let's see. Doubt you can do anything with this stuff. Yeah. I like that, like, interacting with things is still like the sound of him pressing a button. Let's see. So let's go out and take a look around. So I don't think you can go this way. Yeah, you have to go around the other way. Yeah, I don't know. So this is it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. It's a little choppy again, but
Oh, no.
it might just be for the
No, it can't be.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
But
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley.
out of the woods.
I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
I was gonna
something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
I was gonna say it seems like it's going a little bit slowly because
Okay, I think this will be just the
this is a
thing.
pretty big world to venture through. So if they had the whole thing, but apparently you can only go. Oh, really?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Oh boy. Well, there could be cars
So what
showing up in a
exactly
second.
do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun.
Yeah, sports
We shall
ball,
run the
that's about
bases
right.
and do a touchdown together.
Oh my god.
Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Oh. Okay, so am I just gonna... Oh, okay. Yeah, normally I would be in a rocket car that would kick this thing around much... I've not really
Are you
played a lot
doing
of
it?
Rocket
Are you
League, but...
winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I
Admittedly,
have a
no.
thought, and I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more
God, what is about to
euphoric
happen?
sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
Kick this in the goal. Oh, God. All right. Start making some goals, I guess.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game?
Gotta admit.
Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
Oh.
That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm
Well,
leaving.
I guess I can't go
See
out.
how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
All right, then. I thought maybe I could, like, leave the arena, go wander out, but I guess not. Well, maybe the other side. No. There's gotta be a way to get out of here. We can run around behind the goal or something. Oh. What's this?
Hold on. What are you doing?
Ah, here we go.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Yeah, I think yeah, normally the second game you play is Portal, and I think like after you go through a level of Portal, it's like, oh yeah, forget it, and then you know accidentally fall off the map, and you apparently gonna keep going. I know there's some stuff down here. I don't remember exactly where to find it. Yeah, I think this is going back to like how it originally ends. Because yeah, normally like the second game is you go through Minecraft and Portal, and then you end up in this weird like below the game broken area. Oh, here we go. Yeah, just some weird stuff going on down here. Like, who knows what madness is happening? Oh yeah, and then you get to 427, which is your desk, and you get in here, and there's all this weird stuff in here. No idea what. I don't think I ever figured out what any of this means either. I'm not sure you're supposed to be able to figure it out. It's just like weird spooky stuff that you find down the depth below the game, which I always thought was kind of a cool concept. I don't think you can actually do anything with it. Yeah. I think it's when you go back out of the room. Yeah.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it, down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
And that's an ending. Wow. So, yeah, I guess in addition to new stuff, even the old stuff has some stuff that's different. Although that might be a special case because they may not have just been able to use Minecraft again. So let me try. I'm gonna try.
All his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Another one I really like is...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Wow. Several of my favorite ones are on the right door.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So this time, I'm going to go...
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please. Stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking... This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Yeah, this one also has some weird choices depending on what you do.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone. As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow...
Yeah, if you actually do that, it's like, oh no, you're a jerk, narrator.
None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
All right.
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people.
Well, I think this
Or
has
he
had
could
some
spend
upgrades
years of
too.
hard work forgetting how to read.
Oh yeah.
Which choice would you make?
I think that's
Remember
new.
that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational
Fish?
logic.
Yeah,
If you
fish.
find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less?
2.
And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry.
Danger
Now that you're
everywhere.
properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
So yeah, that one was mostly the same. I think they did change out a couple of the graphics, but it was mostly the same. It's still really funny. And yeah, now they put up, I think they've actually put up higher guardrails now to make sure you can't get over the fence or to jump off. As that's also a thing you can do, is just
Now
fall
that
to
we
your
know your
death.
choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Few places are. Nope, I can't get through. All right. Nope, can't break the flow of the game. The door's open for you.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
All right, I guess we'll try doing the left door this time. Oh yeah,
There
all
was not a
these
single person here
crazy
either.
things on these
Feeling a
whiteboards.
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Complete today's unfinished agenda items right next day's agenda. Reflect. Kick Chris out of the broom closet. Ooh, my desk. targets on the topic of, and it's erased. Number of slides on this slide. Charts and slides. Stop it. It's somewhere here. Oh god, so many weird, goofy things they put on these boards. Please, no more charts. Boss appreciation minute. Alright. Monetize free to play. Like yourself. Why did we hire you? It takes 2 people to start a fight, and right now you're both of them. Your dreams for the future. Mitosis. Clear skin. Comatose? Tips for not getting fired. I like how don't get fired is one of them. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no expectation of promotion or recognition. I think it also helps that there's a lot of things in this game that are just like, yeah. Your employees that everything is okay. Everyone is unique. You, most of all. Oh, God. Alright, so. Go in the broom closet this time.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Normally, there's a pathway down here, but can't take it because you gotta follow the correct story path. Can't even go in this bathroom. There's like another room over here, and I don't remember what's in this one. The beige pages. Oh yeah,
Inside
this is
the manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
all right. I don't think this is gonna work, but just in case, Nightshark 115. Nah, it's not gonna work. Normally, again, you should have already played this game.
Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115.
But yeah,
He
normally
spoke
this
it into the
office
receiver,
does
right
not look
there
like
on the
this.
wall.
And does not have this fake voice activation thing, which you can't actually do.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Yeah, the problem
You
is
didn't mishear me, did you?
that this isn't
Please
programmed into the
speak
game.
the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this
Most
one
expensive
single
boss.
thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the
Isn't
door on
this
the right.
strategy?
You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You
Yeah, unfortunately,
behave exactly as
the game does not
Stanley would.
actually
That means choosing
recognize
responsibly and
your
always
voice.
putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I remember what happens if you keep taking the left door. I know what happens if you take the right door.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Okay, it does reset.
Stanley behaved exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story
I have to go in the
first.
right door to
I'm
proceed.
quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
I think it'll just keep
All right.
looping until I take the right door.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Take the right door.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late. Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that?
Cool that they even
I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever.
Adjusted the whiteboard graphic.
I couldn't live that way.
So that it's misaligned.
Down entirely,
please keep the targets thing is up at the top now.
What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Yeah, this is kind of wild.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see?
I did.
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley?
Although technically I did try to follow the right path.
He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
The end.
Walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, this ending is actually kind of depressing a little bit.
Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something.
But, yeah.
This is more important than you can ever know.
He needs Stanley just as much as Stanley needs him.
So, you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Voice acting is so good. Ah. Well, let's see. A couple of them.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh. This wasn't here.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Interesting. Oh, okay.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Huh.
After receiving critical and commercial
Game
success,
Factory.
it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable,
More game.
delighting audiences the
Smiley
world
face.
over. Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in
Oh,
the
boy.
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I like how the narrator also is going to be experiencing this.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, here we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Oh, God.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Okay.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Press bit. Oh, I can jump now. I can't jump outside the circle. I can I jump. But once I'm outside the circle, I can't jump. Oh my God. It seems like, okay. Your jump is like really weird because like you kind of have some momentum when you're going up, but like when you go down you drop almost immediately. So yeah, you can't like jump to anything, and you can kind of jump outside the circle but not very far. And do anything here? Give myself more jumps. Is this plugged into anything? No.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I'm out of jumps. Do anything else? No. Well, let's see what's back here. Another elevator.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, the initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, There's more. Very good.
I was gonna say, like,
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
ways. Thank you for
That's it?
really?
You've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley?
Oh,
This
man.
is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore."
Oh,
What
God.
quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh. This is different. It's probably still the same, but, huh. This isn't over. I mean, obviously. If that had actually been all of the new content, I would have been upset. But, yeah, I kind of figured something like this would happen. Oh, look, there's the actual hallway, but it's just a picture now. Wow, what is this?
Stanley, come over here. In the vent.
Hold
I
on a
want to
second.
show you something.
Okay, so maybe that's like if you want to go back and do the regular stuff. Okay. Check this out. I could go back and try I'll go back and try the door later, but I'm assuming this is going to be the more interesting of the two. So,
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
thought that was a
Just
drop.
our little secret.
That is a drop.
Take a look.
Okay. Oh. Copy machine. Hello.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Aha. Yes, I think maybe the game it is a little choppy when I'm in big outdoor areas. But hello. The memory zone. Whatever. It's not a huge deal. I'll deal with it. Also, this computer is admittedly super old. Like, I'm gonna have to get a new computer soon. It's, I tried playing through, I was able to play Dark Souls 1 and 2, and I got to 3, and it was just like, I'm gonna run, like, porridge. So, don't forget, Stanley.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched?
God,
Back
that's
then,
so long
video
ago.
games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
the waste.
So hilariously pretentious. Audience Award 2000. Deluxe Collector's Edition Galactic Cafe. Academy of Film and Television Arts. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That says The Last of Us. Put the Stanley Parable over it. Good times. Just random screenshots. Buy on Steam. So it doesn't matter. It might not even be the game. If you actually have a choice, you know how you did it. Oh man. What's this? It's like random pieces of a webpage. Demo. I think I ever played. I can't remember if I played the demo or if I just played the. Which versions I can't remember which version I played. But, music? Oh, bits of music. Smile because it happened. Wow. This is kind of weird, but also really funny. Go outside. I don't think I ever did this one either. Although at this point, if I booted the game back up, I might actually have this one. I haven't tried it. I'd have to go boot the achievable. It's impossible to get this achievement. I'm pretty sure I didn't get that one. This one, if I booted the game up now, it might actually be 5 years since I played it. I don't know. I'll have to poke around a bit. Of course, if I boot it up and it hasn't been 5 years, then I have to wait 5 more years before I can get it. British Academy Award, Game Innovation. Yeah, I remember doing fairly well. So, on one hand, yeah, kind of cool to have all this stuff, but also it's very definitely sending up the nostalgia factor we have for games. 50% off designer hat. Oh man. Deals tough choices. They even have the fake newspapers. I remember that ending. I think that's the one where you actually go downstairs instead of going up to the boss's office. Aww. Yeah.
Je suis dans la même horizon, seul sur la pluie des vélos, et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour.
Wasn't expecting a song.
C'est là, dans la même horizon, où je me remémore les jours.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and
Good.
I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
You know, it's funny because now that I'm going through this, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to replay this game because it was one of my favorite games of all time. And now it's like, okay, yeah, it was actually really good, but come on now. That is really funny, though. But yeah, admittedly, a part of this is going to be from nostalgia from really loving this game. But at the same time, it's like, come on now. I have, yeah. I mean, I have shown this game off. This is one of the games that there's a short list of games that I like pretty much will just tell anyone like, hey, you should try out this game. But I also know full well that there are people that I've shown this game to and they've just been kind of like, it's okay. Or I'm not that into it. And, that's cool. Not everybody's going to like every game. So, yeah, it is a little pretentious, but I get that it's also kind of playing into it. And I'm willing to forgive it because for me, I really do think the game is just amazing. But that's just me, Obviously, anybody else, if you're not as crazy about the game, you just watch it just to see what's on Twitch or whatever. That's fair. But yeah, sometimes you just got to do stuff for yourself. Your original remake. Yeah, because I remember those were I think there was originally a version that wasn't on Steam that I think I remember playing, and then they made the Steam version, which had a lot of cool stuff added to it. Now I'm playing this one. Man. The top 10 memories. Oh God.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Beginner's Guide. Yeah, it's been forever. But yeah, that one was. I didn't like it quite as much as the Stanley Parable, but I also did really like the Beginner's Guide. I thought it also had some really cool ideas to it. But would recommend people check it out at some point, especially if they like the Stanley Parable. Oh my gosh. All these freaking mugs. Carpet textures. What's this over here? Source SDK. Is this it? The serious room. Get in there. Good. They can't do anything. Literally anything.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Uh-oh.
What's this? What's down here?
I think I know what's coming.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years.
Oh no.
I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Hey, here's a recommended one. Oh no. This is... Oh no. This is funny.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
I mean...
This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did.
Oh
Maybe
no.
it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
Yeah.
I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
You can't let the bad reviews get to you. But it's hard not to let them. Steam. Big giant cargo boxes.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable.
Oh God.
That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Oh wow. I don't think that's supposed to happen.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices are what happened,
God.
and therefore, by becoming it is. So on and so forth, until inevitably, until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245.
Holy crap.
But by logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward
Okay,
and
he
back,
can't
and
keep
never a
going
moment before
forever.
lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say,
The story and the choices.
Oh, okay, it's gonna start
and
looping.
therefore, by becoming it is. So on and so forth, until
Right.
inevitably
Okay.
we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245.
Let's see,
Now,
I'm gonna
logic
give
of
it until
elimination
the
working backwards,
loops again.
The deduction, therefore, becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices.
Okay, yeah, it's
or
just
what
gonna
have
keep
you,
looping.
And therefore, by becoming it is.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it.
Waiting
but
for me to
if I
press
had
the button
describe
again.
it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of
Oh
the
my
choices
God,
you've ever
this is
made in fact
ridiculous.
make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite?
So,
You
yeah,
see,
I
it
get
could in fact
the
be
premise
both of
is, you
these
know,
things at
people want
once,
new
that you
content,
are
even if
both
it's random
making
bits of
choices
dialogue.
and not making choices, and that they are both affecting
But
you
I also
and not
kind of want to
affecting
see
you
what
at the
happens
same
if you just
time,
let him
by
run his
virtue
mouth
of the fact that
forever.
you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've got me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay. Look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other. In which case,
see.
the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations.
My God.
All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto.
Repeating.
Treatise,
Even
manifesto.
Even the
Treatise,
subtitles are just
manifesto.
like, nah,
Treatise,
we're just gonna leave
manifesto.
this up.
Treatise, manifesto.
All right.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you?
Yeah,
But that's
time
the
jump
power
forward
of the
again.
button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To
They
be
won't.
honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works.
God, is this gonna turn into a
That would have been
rant
the
of
smart thing to check
how
on
Steam
before I went
works?
about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity
What?
rises the phoenix of quality.
Stutter.
How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe?
Oh my god.
Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time. The additions and changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media ever made. It is perhaps true to say that no mistakes are forever etched in stone, for the stone into which the Stanley Parable was carved has itself been transmuted, offering a message.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
to
think you
those
can
who have
edit
ever
Steam
erred in
reviews.
their judgment. You are not beyond redemption.
Also,
you may change.
now I'm kind of
and you
waffling
may
like,
become
oh
more,
man,
so much more than you were before.
somebody's
If
going to
there is any message
watch
to be taken
this
from the
and
Stanley
just be like,
Parable
oh god,
Ultra
he's gonna
Deluxe,
listen
it
to
is
every one of this guy's
what a
ramblings,
fortune,
isn't he?
a privilege.
And I am.
The joy it is to have had such
And you're just
an
gonna have to
experience.
skip ahead.
It leaves me hopeful.
You're gonna have to implement
that as a
your own skip
community,
button to
as a
get past this
world,
part.
There is time for us to become our greatest selves, as great as we ever could dream of in our wildest, most ambitious visions for a brighter future. Wow. Now, Stanley, that's a review. It's perfect. It's the perfect review. It's the review I've always dreamed of receiving. I have to read it again.
Oh my
It's so
god.
wonderful. I have to experience this just one more time. From the
Yeah,
ashes.
no.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes. It's
Oh.
not unendurable by any means, but well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go?
Oh yeah, the door's
Was there a door
gone.
that led into this room?
I didn't even notice
I
that.
feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I
God.
don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button.
I'm circling around the room.
Wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all.
Doesn't seem to
I'm
work,
asking
Chief.
you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
Okay, so this time it's yeah, of course. But now it's just not gonna say anything. Alright. I'm pressing skip button.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
God.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again.
There's the easy way. You just gotta keep going.
Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe. I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God.
Just gotta keep
And it's all
talking
because of
forever.
Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are.
What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child. Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue.
Yep.
It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone.
It's gonna be as soon as you finish your monologue.
Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship.
Yep.
Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out
man,
of
it
my
kinda-
head. I just couldn't ignore the negative
Kinda cut a
feedback.
little bit there.
Why was it so important for me to fix the problem?
Well-
Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone
Man,
to
the
talk to
lights
again.
aren't working anymore.
Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm
It's
realizing
true.
now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe...
Oh,
it means
no.
I'm real. Maybe
Oh, no.
I'm not just a fiction.
You don't want to
I'm
get me
scared
talking
of that
about
all
whether
along.
game characters are real or not.
Yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I
Played
am
a few games
someone.
recently,
I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel
About
as
that.
though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it, to think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely committed to listening to all of these until they either loop or stop going. I don't know why. I just no. Gotta hear all of it. It's I don't know. I mean, it's like when you play a video game, you got to do everything. You got to listen to everything. All I have to do is sit here and not push the button until I'm fairly certain that he's not going to say anything new. It's like when you talk to NPCs in games and like you talk to them multiple times just to see if they'll say something different. But eventually they don't. You move on because they're not real. They're just game characters.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year.
Oof.
Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it
I
for
mean,
you. To begin with, there is only
last couple of years.
There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment, and I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being.
Well, good for you.
I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible.
You know, I actually thought about making a DDLC mod that
moment. Both singular
sort of worked
and
like this once.
For the longest time, this was my experience. And then, this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind.
Okay,
And
not
it was
this part.
This sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well. Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
Sorry, buddy. You should have aimed for, I don't know, just erasing everything else in the game so you could try to get me to love you. That also wouldn't have worked, but I know someone else who tried that. But seriously, though. Oh, interesting. Folding ideas. Interesting about in this game. But yeah, like some of the ideas about, you know, I'm going to talk about DDLC because, of course, I am. Some of the ideas about like Monica and like how what her existence actually is, and like, you know, because of the fact that like there's this idea of Monica in the game, and there's this idea of like, you know, the other existences that she has from what people have created in other mods and other experiences and stories and stuff, like what all that sums up to in terms of how she actually exists in the world, just being an idea or like something more than that in terms of like our collective consciousness. And the idea was going to be pretty pretentious, obviously, but I thought it had some cool, you know, there was going to be some cool ideas behind it, like maybe do some like crossover stuff with some other games that have explored the ideas of, you know, metafiction and like what it means to exist and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, I'm rambling. I'm going to press the button now. Oh, wow, just nothing on this one, huh? AC unit? Yeah, apparently no narration this time. He's gone off doing something else. Guess I'm just gonna keep hitting the button now. The heck? Oh god, it's the smoke alarm. Yeah, let's skip this one.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review.
I mean, this has to be like
pitiful demands. But then he's talking too much. They said first he didn't entertain us. Now he won't shut up.
Several years, 10 years maybe.
It's the unwillingness to examine.
Considering how long it takes the batteries and smoke detectors to go out.
World, as though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen.
Well,
the most immediate desires. Every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives.
I mean, he's just retreading ground at this point, but
it absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing.
The clock fell off the wall.
Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I'm a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time.
He doesn't even notice that I'm back now. He's just going.
Tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves, they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was